Hey everybody, today just wanted to do a little video on, something you can do, especially if you're developing RT targets like CompactRIO, helpful development tools for, just learning and also for testing different things. So basically what this is a way that you can, through Oracle VirtualBox, create a NI Linux RT virtual machine. So this way you can simulate different RT targets, basically you can select this image, click run, and a CompactRIO will appear and it will show up connected to your computer. You can program, you can deploy code to it, you can interact with the file system, you can install packages to it, et cetera, et cetera. If you want to, you can just destroy what you've done and restart, with the initial image, or you can even save the image in certain configured states as well. But yeah, I just wanted to do a real quick walkthrough with just some of these settings that I've set for setting up this specific VirtualBox image. And then I'll show you kind of what you can do with this and, talk a little bit about why you might want to do this. There is a base NI Linux RT image that installs with the NI Real-Time Toolkit, which you do need to create this from that. So that basically includes the specific flavor of Linux that we're using. I don't remember off the top of my head exactly where that is, but also if you're interested in this image, I can just send you it as is. Just let me know. It's kind of a big file, but if you reach out, I'll just send you this, and then you can just import it into VirtualBox and you're off to the races. I've already got this running. I've just named it NI Linux RT. It is, for operating system, it is just other Linux. For memory, I've assigned it 2048 MB, 2 processors. Boot order is set to floppy, optical, and hard disk. EFI is enabled. For video memory, I set it to 16 MB. Graphics controller is VMS VGA. And for the controller, I've got this NI Linux RT disk001.iso for loading the NI Linux RT. I do have this host-only adapter. So that way, if you only want to be able to connect to the computer that's running VirtualBox, you can use that adapter. I also have this NAT adapter that allows it to be connected by other things as well. Host-only adapter is a good, secure way to do that. So that way people can't, execute, malicious code on your VirtualBox image that can therefore, get through your network and stuff like that. I have both enabled. So there's actually 2 adapters, and you'll see that in just a sec. I've got this USB controller as well. So like I said, easiest thing, if you just shoot me an email or comment on this video, I can send you this image and you don't have to go recreate it. Basically I can, let me make this a little smaller so you can see. But because I have even the embedded UI enabled, I can even see the actual user interface right here. I can interact with stuff. I can see if there's software running on the target. I can interact with it here. I can click buttons. I can type in stuff. I can navigate the file system. I can use different tools on here. I can customize the desktop, etc. Just as if I had an actual RT target and I was connected to it with a mouse and keyboard. So really kind of cool. I can interact with it this way. So through the embedded UI, I can also, so you can see this also shows up in NI Max. So it shows that it's connected. I can see I have 2 adapters like I showed you. This first one being the host-only adapter, and this is my NAT one. You can see basically what version of NI Linux RT. I can, if I wanted to, I can upgrade the firmware. I can, change settings. So right now I do have enable embedded UI, which is why you could see the UI. Otherwise, you would just see the little terminal you usually see when you connect a monitor to an embedded UI capable device that doesn't have it enabled. and yeah, some information about it. I can go change settings. I can install software to this, etc. Likewise, I can also go and program a LabVIEW project, and I can connect to this, and I can actually deploy code on this target, and run various tests, install packages, whatever. So why would you want to do this? So for me, it's a really helpful tool for testing. I can just go here, right, and basically, like, I can stop the target whenever I want, right? I can just click stop. I can pause it, but when I want to, I can just click run. And you can even start this from the command line if you want to as well. And then I have a CompactRIO connected in a few seconds. And it's a simulated CompactRIO. So if I do something that completely tanks the system, I don't have to go and reformat the disk and whatever and try to get it back to a safe state. I can just go and click stop and shut it down or power it off. If I want to, I can also save the state. So if I've installed certain software on here, like maybe I've set like a startup application and I've installed certain software packages through OPKG and I want those to always be there, I can save the state, and that way that stuff will already be installed when I go to use it. But also I can leave it in this kind of default initial state, and that way I can just do all my testing. And if I totally just destroy the system, I delete critical system files or something like that, I can just discard it and then start a new one. So I don't have to worry about messing up my really expensive CompactRIO and having to deal with reformatting the disk. I can just discard my VM and then basically just relaunch a new one, and I have a new one. So really useful for testing. And that could be, like I said, testing different packages. So I could be installing different OPKG packages that might change the way my system works. One good example would be NI recently released their SNAC configuration, which is like Secure Network Attached Controller, which is basically their secure software implementation for CompactRIO. And yeah, it will really lock down your system. So for initial testing, right, testing it on a virtual machine makes a lot of sense, because if I completely lock down my system, or maybe even I'm playing with IP tables, right, and I accidentally cut off all communication to my RT target, well, I can just kill the virtual image and relaunch it, and we're fine, right? I don't have to worry about reformatting the disk to be able to SSH into my target anymore. So those are the big advantages with playing with packages. Also, I can test my code in a simulated environment. So I can go, write code and just run it on this, and I can actually see it run. So whether it's reading files, logging data to files, etc., it can do all of that in this VirtualBox image. Now, the one really big downside is there's no hardware attached to this. Right, so if you have different C-series modules you're connecting to your CompactRIO or serial devices or whatever it is, that's not going to work, right? So you're not going to be able to test anything hardware related. But if you create a good way where you can simulate that stuff, have like a simulation mode and an actual mode, you can test that stuff in a simulated mode, and you can test like your data logging and stuff like that, make sure it's working, or how this thing may interact in different ways. You can kind of simulate behaviors and stuff, and yeah, you can check CPU and memory as you do these things and make sure you're not having memory leaks or even like memory fragmentation issues, that your CPU usage is healthy. So you can evaluate a whole bunch of stuff. Some of that stuff with CPU is a little different just because this is virtualized, right? So it's using my computer that I'm running this is on resources to do this. So it's not 100% telling, but it is helpful just to kind of get some initial testing done and evaluation. And like I said, if you totally just tank the system, you just stop your VirtualBox image and relaunch it, and you've got a clean slate. So really safe way to just test and debug stuff. Really, the only downside I've run into is that anything hardware related just doesn't work. If you have a way to connect to hardware though, through like Visa server or through like a TCP/IP interface, then you actually can pass the hardware directly over to the CompactRIO and run those types of devices on there, but you won't be able to actually run C-series modules. So yeah, that's kind of the one downside. But everything else, I've had good success using this for testing, setting up some like syslog testing type stuff, or data or kind of system message logging. This has been really nice for just testing because I can just spin it up, I can run my code, I can actually verify in the file system that everything's being, logged correctly in the right locations, that I'm able to retrieve that data, etc. If I build tools for maybe like file transfer, whether that be through like WebDAV or SFTP or whatever it is, yeah, really good place to just test. If I accidentally delete something important, well, it doesn't really matter, right? If I'm going and changing, system configurations, I can do really risky stuff. And if I totally tank the system, just kill it. So yeah, that would be why I think this is helpful. So like I said, if you're interested in this image, just reach out to me. I can send this to you. It's a really big file, so I don't really have it stored anywhere right now. But if you're interested in this, just reach out to me however you can, and I will send you this image. But that would be basically simulating a CompactRIO using VirtualBox to create a NI Linux RT virtual machine. Thanks for watching.
Canon Controls is your gateway to mastering LabVIEW. Dive into programming for data acquisition, industrial communications, and manufacturing automation. Explore how to enhance your projects with cybersecurity best practices. Join the journey to elevate your skills and secure your systems with every episode.